Well, everyone that was on that live, maybe you'll come over to this one. I don't know what happened. I guess I'll wait for a minute. Dang. I swear, YouTube's the worst. I'll wait for a sec. I don't even know if this is showing up for anyone yet. Hello. Dang, I swear, YouTube does this all the time. It just randomly X'd out my entire thing. Chris. I'm upset. Let me get my computer. Just X'd out my whole life. Hello? Nope, still no one. Oh, that makes me think that I'm on the wrong. Oh wait, is someone there? This makes me think that it's still on my other live. So I'm just gonna look on my computer and see if you guys can see me. Who's here? Can you see me okay? Is my other one up? Dang, YouTube's the worst. Honestly. Honestly. Why did that happen? It totally just kicked me out. My entire app just like closed. Can you guys hear me? Just let me know. I was like answering a question too. What was I even answering? I don't know. Thank you, John. I'm so excited I got to 10K. I really am. Took a long time, but we're here. Now, 20K, 50K. We'll see. I don't know if that's possible. It is possible. Of course it's possible. I'm fun. Share with like one friend and make them sub. And we'll be well on our way to 20K, right? That's what I think. Wow, someone just titled their video the exact same thing as my video. That's okay. We're all friends here. Anyway, sorry that happened. I guess everyone is still on the other live, which is frustrating because I can't like combine these afterwards. Yep, it's coming up as 2 different lives. That's so lame. Anyway, I don't know if whoever was asking me the question is on here, but if you are on here, just, you know, feel free to ask me again. But I know I was talking about remote work and how you can work in the States. New live. Why is this happening? I don't know what happened. Okay. Oh my gosh. I wonder if the jobs are watching us. I know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that. Do you think? I'm not even kidding. Do you think that's why? Yeah. All right. Come on over to this one. We won't talk about VPNs, but there are ways to work there without, you know, telling people you're in DR. But that being said, as long as you're like legit and you have the experience, then people don't really mind. The only thing is like them not paying you like an international fee, because some people who are looking for freelancers, they want to hire someone in like the Philippines and pay them like $5 an hour. So that's the only difficult part, is still being like, no, like you have to still charge me like X amount. But that being said, the best way to do it is on 100% best way to do it is on like to work remotely. Like you just make so much more money than working in DR. This person's saying they don't see my live, but so weird. But it is really hard anyway to get a job as like an American living in DR. If you don't have your cedula or residency, a lot of jobs like literally cannot hire you. Oh, you got it. Okay, good. I was gonna try to find it, but I'm glad you got it. YouTube. So if it happens again, guys, I don't know why. I'm sorry. Hopefully it won't, because I probably won't make a new one. Yeah, I was just talking about that. This is my son's like teething toy. I don't know. I always have to hold something. Yeah, the best way to do it is just to freelance, maybe establish yourself in DR. But since you already have a job, one of my friends, she got permission from her company. She was like, I work remotely and I'm moving to DR and I still want to work here. And she was just like open with them, and they had to like run it through and get approval by so many people, but it worked. On the other hand, I do know people that are like, I'm just gonna do a VPN and hope for the best. You're going next week. Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. Have so much fun, Carly. That's awesome. Mills, I've overstayed my free 30 days to visit the DR. I had some things occur and I don't have a visa. So, you know, a tax will be required for me to pay. Yeah, depending how long you overstayed, there's a chart. You can look it up online if you Google like overstay Dominican Republic fees, but you're totally fine. Like, I overstayed so long, like 6 months and stuff, and I never had an issue. They are cracking down a little bit more in certain areas, but you should probably only be paying like $40 probably, and you'll pay that at the airport, and you can pay it with cash or card. But you can like, they have like an overstay on the chart. They literally have a payment all the way up to like, if you've overstayed like 10 years. So then you're like, okay, can I overstay? Can I not? I don't get that. I don't get that. Anyway, I think what I was talking about also was sharing my content and how much that helps me. So if you're here watching, give a thumbs up to this video too. So annoying, I do know that. Don't know what happened to the last one, but I don't know. It's fine. Thumbs up helps, shares help, comments help. Subscribing obviously helps. And then I do have a membership program too now. So you'll get like, if you do like the monthly membership, which sounds like a lot, I think it's like $2 a month for the first one and $5 a month for the second one. You get a bunch of other stuff like free consultations, different behind the scenes stuff, FAQs, like a group chat with us, just a bunch of stuff. So if that's something that interests you, I think in the description here, it will be like join my membership channel. And that is so helpful for me because you know, YouTube ads they pay me like a penny. Have I ever visited Puerto Rico? No, and I would love to. Actually, we were supposed to a couple years ago. We had like tickets and everything to go on the ferry, which is cool. There's like a ferry that I think it's like 12 hours, if that sounds right, I think. And it's just like a big boat and you have like a room and they have beds and stuff. Is it 12 hours? I thought that's what it was. It's not 24. That's like really far. I think it's 12 hours. And something happened with Chris's mom. We were all going to go together and his mom had to work or something. So we had to cancel, but I really wanted to go. I would love to go back. My friend just went and her pictures looked amazing. I've heard such good things. I have a lot of friends who are Puerto Rican too. So they tell me it's one of the most beautiful places. And it keeps getting like listed on all these sites as like the best place to visit. I don't know. And I think it's really cool that you can basically drive across the entire country like so easily. May I ask how you learned Spanish fluently? I'm trying to learn. I don't even think I'm fluent. So there's that. But something, I have a couple videos on this too. If you search my channel for like Spanish, multiple videos should come up. But what really helped me was obviously like I took Spanish in high school, which was a good basis. I took it in college too. That helped. But mostly like my trips to DR when I would go on vacation or mission trips and stuff, that was really good to practice, to be like in DR, hear the accent, like make friends and then like keep in contact with them. That was like so good for me. And then when I decided that I was moving to DR, I got Hello Talkie. No, that's not what it's called. Hello Talk and iTalki. It's two different like apps that you can get on your phone, and you can pick the country. So you can like specifically pick DR, match with people there, Puerto Rico, whatever you want. And just like text and have conversations. A lot of them, they're like native Spanish speakers, so they'll want to learn English. So you'll kind of like help each other out. The only thing with that is like when I did Hello Talk, there were, first of all, it was like all guys. And they would say like, you know, I would be up front and I'd be like, I'm literally just trying to learn Spanish. So like, that's it. And it eventually would always turn into like, are you single? Like, oh, you're moving here. Like, where are you moving? And like, well, that's like a normal question, but you know, like, let's video chat or let's meet up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally just want to learn Spanish. And you know, those Dominican guys are very smooth talkers, so it's tempting. But that's a good way to learn, is just like practicing. And then if you can like meet a good friend that speaks Spanish, voice notes back and forth helps so much. My lips are so chapped. That was awesome for me. When Chris and I first started dating, we like only spoke Spanish, which is really funny to me now. And then Netflix shows, watching them in Spanish with with English subtitles is good. And then eventually you can switch to Spanish subtitles and then no subtitles. I still watch all shows with subtitles in English. I don't know why. I think I'm like, I can't hear. But that helps. Spanish music helps. There's a good podcast called like Coffee Talk or Coffee Time, something like that. Look it up. But they do like news stories in Spanish, but very slowly for people that are learning. So there's just different ways, but the most is practicing, which when you're first learning and you have to speak, I still get nervous. Like when I went back to DR, I felt so dumb when I first got there. I was like, okay, cool, I lost all my Spanish, but you get it back so quickly, and people do, they're not like judging you. People get really excited when you're speaking Spanish and stuff. Sometimes what they'll do is like, they'll answer me in English and I'm like, no, like I can speak Spanish, like speak Spanish with me. But then I'm like, okay, maybe they want to practice. So it's fine. And people, the only thing I don't like, and Chris's friends will do this, and my friends in DR do this too. They'll like call you out. Like you'll be having you'll be out with friends and there's like 10 people and they're like talking so fast together and super fast and like on a topic, going off on a tangent. And I'm just like, I like zone out and I'm like, I'm not listening. And then they'll like turn to you and be like, what did I just say? Or like, oh, did you get that? Or they'll tell like some obscure like joke or like idiom that makes no sense in Spanish, let alone in English when you translate it. And they'll be like, what did that mean? And I'm like, why are you doing it in front of everyone? I would be so embarrassed. Or if you say something wrong, they'll like call you out. But I mean, they don't like mean anything by it. It's just like funny. So yeah. But you'll be great. A Spanish immersion. Yeah, they have Spanish immersion programs. That could work. Or I can help you. We can practice together. I need to do another video in Spanish. I just get nervous because it's like, I don't want people to be like, you're the worst. Hi from Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta, but my mom used to live there. But yeah, a Spanish immersion program would be so fun, honestly. Do you and Chris dance? LOL. Sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, let's dance bachata. And we will. But we don't like go out dancing. Like we used to when I lived in, when I lived in Jarabacoa and he lived in Santiago, we would like, when I would go to Santiago on the weekends or vice versa, we would go out. Usually there with his friend group and like whatever, or my friend group in Jarabacoa, we would just hang out and like go to a bar and sit down and chill and talk, more so than like go to a club and dance. That's just like not really like our scene. I feel like I'm from New York and I lived in Manhattan and like we went out a lot there and I was like, I got my fix and I was like, this is fine. Like I'll stay here. Or I'll do that and I got it on my system. But in DR, like, no, I've been out in DR and it's really fun. Chris and I dance sometimes. He's good. I can dance. I'm a good dancer. I have rhythm. Don't let him tell you anything differently. But bachata is hard. And like salsa is hard. Merengue is hard. It's like the steps. Okay, I can do bachata. I know the steps. But like the rhythm. Chris is like, American Girls. He's so annoying. He's like, American girls look like they're stepping on ants when they dance bachata. Thank you, sir. It's just hard to like get the hips right. And I'm like, I have hips. Like, why can't I do it? And then like, I feel good and I'm like, I'm dancing. And then like, I'll see a Dominican woman dance and I'm like, I'm done. I'm sitting down and watching. It's so hard. But no, I like it. We need 2 more. What are some of the jobs Dominicans with higher incomes have? Sorry, this disappears. Some examples: income that allows them to own a home, car, send their children to language institutes post-secondary. Well, in Chris's case, for example, it's kind of funny because his parents had so many different jobs when he was growing up. His dad's an architect, and then his mom had just like a bunch of businesses. So she's like super entrepreneurial. She had an ice cream shop, she had an internet cafe, just like various different endeavors. But for the last like long while, she's worked with a shipper. The company is based in Miami, but she handles it in DR. So anywhere in the States, you can send your package through Miami, goes to Santiago, and then she distributes it throughout the country. She has like trucks and a warehouse and drivers and like delivers all this stuff to people's doors in huge boxes. So that's what she does. And Chris, growing up, he started Language Institute. So he's been learning English since he was 6. So when we met, he was fluent, which was awesome and like great for him. So his siblings were all in English institutes from very young. And then his school, they also learned English there. But it wasn't like an immersion school. He went to a Catholic school. So that's just like one type of job, like starting your own business there or being an architect. Other jobs that like pay well are just like different business, like being a businessman, woman in different industries. So maybe being in finance, working at a bank, being in like different agricultural fields. It's cool. Like some of his friends' parents have great jobs and doing things like you wouldn't expect. Like one of his friends from high school, her mom, and they make great money. She started a business feeding construction workers. So she would send out, like, she would organize and make maybe all these like platos del dia, so like chicken, beans, and rice, like easy food that you or I could get on the street. But she would coordinate like, okay, we're gonna do a delivery of like 50 meals here, and people like use her. It's like catering, I guess is a good word. And I think it's like even DR and Haiti maybe, and so they make so much money. So it's just cool things like that, like you wouldn't think of. But there's different things. I mean, if you work at one of the international schools and you're a teacher and you're certified, you can make like almost a US salary. So it just depends. I know when Chris told me that, I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. Like, I don't know. There's like, and it's same in the US, of course, but it's like, there's different like industries and niches, and then it's as well. So that's what she does. I'm trying to think of other jobs because Chris, you know, he went to a private school and stuff. So all his friends' parents do kind of the same thing. I wonder what the twins' dad does. I should ask him. One of his friends' dads. I mean, like lawyers, doctors, dentists. He has some like dentists and doctors in his family, and they make good money. But it's hard to get to that point, and it's hard to like move up the ranks and get raises and get paid what it's worth. And then like doctors there don't get paid what doctors here do, and teachers there aren't getting paid what teachers here do. But yeah, our friends there, like what they do, one of them works for Claro, which is the phone company, and he does sales and he does really well. The twins that we're close with, they, one's an architect and one does like taxes for different companies. There's just so many jobs. I feel like less options kind of. So like you're an entrepreneur and you start your own business, like kind of his mom did, or you have like a few different options to pick from. So when he was going to Pucamaima, he was like, oh, I can be like a nurse or a business or teaching or engineering. Like it wasn't as expansive as like my college, but you can do really well there. All his friends have like really good careers, I feel like. So Yeah, it's hard to make a good salary though, like a really good salary. I feel like there's like really rich people in DR, and then like middle, and then really poor people. But and there's definitely a middle class, but I feel like there's like a big divide too between different industries, which can be frustrating for sure. Like some people who deserve to make money are not. Sorry, that was a really long answer. I am back, Murray. I didn't get your message. Was it on Instagram? If I didn't answer, I'm sorry. Can you resend it? Sometimes I have so many, I don't want to sound like, oh my God, so many people message me, but I get a lot of messages on Instagram and I get like overwhelmed and I don't read them for like 3 days. So hopefully I didn't ignore you. I would never ignore someone intentionally, let me say that, but hopefully I didn't miss your message. But if it's in my request folder, I don't check that all the time. So send me again. Oh, you're in the Heights. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Malecon, that restaurant is so good. Hi, Humble. I'm good. How are you? No mosquitoes biting you yet. No. Should they? In DR, they have like those tiny little black bugs. And oh my gosh, on my first trips there, they would eat me alive. And you get literally like welts all over your legs. And you're like, oh, bro, what's happening? And they hurt so bad. But then when I moved there, like that stopped. I was a local. I'm just kidding. My Instagram is Rebecca Mills with 3 S's. So REBECCAMILLSSS. And then, yeah, you can message me there. I will answer everyone. The, like, above your bed to sleep? No. No, but when I moved there alone. No, definitely shoot me another message because I'm like, I don't ignore anyone. So, like, I'm sorry if I missed it. Usually it doesn't take me that long. So I might have just not seen it. When I first moved there, I moved alone. I moved like 3 weeks before the school year started. So I had like, before I started working. So I had like downtime. I was first one in the house, big house, like super big. I think I showed pictures of it in some of my old videos. And it was really nice. I got there at night and the like 3 administrators from the school picked me up from the airport, drove me the hour back to Harbacoa, dropped me off. There was like a welcome basket. It was great. But obviously you're moving to another country and I was panicking. And we walked into my bedroom and there were 3 cockroaches, like 1 on the bathroom towel, 1 like on my dresser, 1 on the nightstand, and they just like one of them just like stomped on all of them and was like, okay, bye, and they just left me. And I was like, no. So I remember my first night in DR, I was like, I can't sleep. Like, I cannot sleep if I know there's cockroaches in here. And I was Googling like cockroach spray and like how to get rid of cockroaches. And the next day I went and got that like spray, which is very toxic, I realized. But oh, the cockroaches, I just cannot. I'd rather have mosquitoes 100%, but I never had like a net. It wasn't that bad because we would like close the windows and stuff. Oh, the cockroaches. And then that house ended up being infested with mice, like an infestation to the point where we lived with 4 of us. 2 left before Christmas break. Like they quit and moved back. And then it was just me and Simone, who's been in some of my videos. If you guys know, you know her. She's awesome. And it was just us. And she stopped sleeping in her own bed because there were mice in her room. So she was like, I'm sleeping with you. Even though I opened the drawer one day and a mouse jumped out at me. I've never screamed so loud. So she and I were sleeping in the same bed. And then we woke up in the middle of the night and there were mice like crawling under the bed. And I was like, nope. Went to the living room, same thing, mice crawling in the cabinet, like you could hear them. Oh, and so we were like, I can't do mice. They were like, we're eating our food. And we went to the balcony, like to the porch, and we had a hammock. So we're like, we're just sleeping on the hammock. And we're laying, me on one side, her on the other. We're good for like 30 minutes, although it's freezing, because it gets really cold in Harbacoa at night. It's in the mountains, and the whole hammock collapsed. So flat on our asses on the tile. I'm like, this night cannot get worse. We just ended up standing in the street in the middle of the night. Like, what do we do? Anyway, long story short, there are definitely insects and bugs and whatnot. Mosquitoes are obviously like dangerous, and as are mice, but they weren't that bad. The mosquitoes, at least. Lizards, yes, we had lizards in our house too. I always had a lizard in my room on the wall, but they're not like as scary. They're scary when you see them at first, but they're not as scary because they kind of like leave you alone and they stay on the wall. Simone definitely like tried to decapitate a lizard once, and I was like, this is not okay. But the cockroaches, I can't. I just, it gives me chills. Anyway, oh, I'll have to check out your channel. I've always wondered why I felt a really intense itch on my legs when I go to certain places. Mostly, yeah, if you get those bumps on your legs, those are you can't see them. They're not mosquitoes. They're like these tiny little black bugs. And they bite you and oh man, I just like have PTSD because when I was a teenager and I would go, my whole leg would have like red welts all over it. It hurts to the touch. You're so sore. And that's, yeah, if you're like sitting in certain grass, you can kind of see them sometimes. But you wouldn't never like notice them unless you were looking for them. And the only thing that works for that is 100% DEET, D-E-T, which is also like, I don't want to be putting that on my body, but it's so weird. When I moved there, that didn't happen. And I'm like, why would that happen when I was on a trip, but not when I live here and I'm like in the grass like all the time? I don't know. I never got them. Do you feel like you need to know Spanish to survive in DR, or can you get around in certain areas, towns? So it's interesting. Like a lot of teachers I taught with, or some of them, there were only like 6 or 7 Americans. A lot of them didn't speak Spanish at all, like at all. Or like some words, but like basics. And they were fine because in Jarabacoa, at least, there's a lot of Americans. So at my school, there were like 7, but at the other school, Doulos, it's more like a missionary school. There's a ton of Americans. And it's just, you can get by without speaking Spanish, 100%. And a lot of them will like hang out with mostly Americans or Dominicans who work at the school and they speak English. So you can get by. That being said, I always recommend people to learn Spanish, like 100%, because it just changes the entire experience. All the signs are in Spanish. You don't want to have to walk around with your phone, like translating everything. Chris's friends all speak English fluently, and they're like so good at it. And I'm like, how are you so good at it? I was like, I have no excuse for my Spanish because none of them like lived in the States. But it's just like they all learn English and they're so good, but they don't speak English together. Like if me and Chris went out with our Dominican friends, they're gonna speak Spanish. No one's speaking English to each other. Now they're nice and they'll translate for you, but I feel like you have to learn a certain level of Spanish to feel like you're like part of what's going on in the culture and stuff. But I know people who didn't. So I know like Simone lived there for like 10 months and she didn't speak Spanish and she made friends, and she's just so outgoing that she was like speaking English to people that didn't understand her, and she was fine. She didn't care. But not everything's like translated. Like, you won't really see signs in Spanish and then translate in English. Like you kind of need to know, and it's hard. I mean, if you're asking for directions or ordering food, and like inevitably it's going to be wrong if you're not really knowing what you're saying. Even me, like knowing what I'm saying, the food will come out wrong, and I'm like, I said this. They're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, okay. But you can definitely like go there without knowing Spanish and then work up to it. You know, it's not like a place that you'll completely be lost without knowing anything. And Spanish, luckily, is one of the easier languages to learn, I think, compared to like Russian or something. So it's pretty easy to pick up like once you're there, but definitely it's important. You both lived there the whole school year? So kind of. I moved there in August 2017. Yeah. No, July 2017. And then we had Simone and Morgan and Sandra. She was like 50 in that house. And this girl, Catherine, she was first. So it was me and Catherine alone. Me, and then Catherine came. She was from New York too. So I was like, oh, we'll be friends. Let me not speak badly about her, but she was wild. And then left like in the middle of the night, was like, I'm not working here. I hate DR. It's like trash and poverty and disgusting and it's gross, and left. And I was like, okay, bye. So that was very quickly. Then Simone came, Morgan, and Sandra. Sandra left in like November, she quit. Morgan left at Christmas time, she quit. And then it was me and Simone. January or February, we moved out of that house because of the mice. We moved into another house, and Simone left at spring break. She quit. And I was like, no, just stay. Like, stay till June. But she didn't. So then I was alone in that house from March to June, and it was so sad. Oh, every night I would go home alone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is sad. But so many teachers quit there, and it was like such a big turnover, which sucked, but it is what it is. But luckily we didn't stay in that house the whole year. It was a nice house. It was just disgusting by the time it was like infested with the mice. And then after that, I waited until June. I wanted to quit the school year so many times. That's a whole different story. Just, it was rough, but I didn't, because I like to do what I say. So I was like, I'm gonna stay at school for the whole year. And I felt bad leaving the kids and stuff. So in June, I moved to Santiago, and my apartment was 5 million times nicer than my house in Harbacoa. But that being said, my house in Harbacoa, I paid $30 for rent. So all things considered. And Harbacoa is beautiful. Like, I love it. I would love to have a cabin there or something. Are you moving back to DR? Hi, Chris. So the plan is to buy land in DR and then build a house there. And because Chris is a structural engineer, he makes more money like by insane and over 100% more here than in DR. And he like really wants to be an engineer here in the States, and he likes it, and he's doing well, and like he likes the projects, he likes his company. So on my hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, can you just work remotely and we can go back and forth at least, because my family's here, and it's important for us to be near them right now. But we'll buy land in DR, and Chris wants to build a house there. It's cheap to build a house there, depending like where you are and what kind of house you're building and stuff. But that's the goal, and then we'll come back and forth. So ideally, his job will let him work more remotely than he is now, and then we'll be spending more time there, like a month at a time, and coming back and forth. I was really nervous to bring the baby there, and I was like, is it gonna change my perception of DR forever? Like, just me being nervous to have the baby there. I miss you guys. Oh my gosh. I hope you're doing so well. I love seeing your pictures and everything. It's so cute. And in that regard, I'm like, oh, I made such good friends in DR. Like, there's so many amazing people. I love Santiago. And when we were there in June for like 2.5 weeks or whatever, I was like, I just want to move back. Like, I love being there. But then I'm like, oh, my family's here. And like I said, for various reasons, it's very important for us to be near my parents right now. Even more so after this last week, which I won't even get into right now. But the only two things that make me really nervous being there with Mateo, the baby, is driving. I hate driving there. And like having a good school for him. So I don't know. Ideally, we will be back and forth, because it's really important for Mateo to know like both cultures. Like, I want him to really be ingrained and like adapted to Dominican culture and speak Spanish and like know all of that. And just like see our friends more and stuff there. But now, luckily, Chris has his green card, so he can leave the States and come back and forth. That took forever to get. And then when he has his citizenship in 2.5 years, it's even easier. Then with COVID and me being pregnant, we were like not traveling anywhere, of course. So luckily we'll be making way more trips, but buying a house, buying land there for sure. And like I said, like, if you guys are new, Emma, my last video, Emma showed us like a house that she's built in Guaymate, and not to like spoil her, because we're going to do a video about costs and the process of building a house and how long it took and what she did. She spent under 10K, and it's like, what? So definitely want to do that for sure. For sure. And then we'll Airbnb it or rent it out or whatever. And his parents are building a house in Santiago, so then there'll be more space for us to come and go. But yeah, Chris, you guys are awesome. I hope you're doing well. I wish I could come back like all the time. Mateo will grow up. I know. My friend has that as her Instagram name, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want that. That's the goal. Growing up in New York, I knew a lot of Dominicans because they're, you know, every Dominican like that moves to the States, it's like Miami, Boston, or New York, I feel like. And I knew a lot of Dominicans, but they never like, not all of them. Some of them would come back and forth, and some of them never visited DR. And that's not like any judgment on them, because obviously it's expensive and people work and school and all these things considered. It's not me being like, oh, how could you? It's just me talking to them as they grew up and them being like, I don't feel connected to my Dominican culture at all. Like, I don't speak Spanish. I don't know the food. I don't cook. Like, I don't have friends there. I don't talk to my family there. So that made me be like, and it affected them. Like, they wanted that. So it's important to us that Mateo really does like know both cultures, but also like, because Chris's family is still there, and because like not all of our friends, a ton of our friends are still there, it's like, that would be so weird for him to like not know that side, I feel like. But it was so fun to like bring him there. Even though he was 6 months, he was like, I was like showing him everything. So it was fun. And yeah, you can totally homeschool in DR. Chris that just commented, he homeschools his kids in Santiago, and it's like a great system that they have. I don't know like how much he wants to share, but he has a really good like system going, and it works so well. I just don't know, like, do I want to like fully homeschool? I don't know. And like, I don't know. It makes me nervous. Like, would I want to like homeschool full time? There's also really cool like small schools in like Cabarete has a really cool one called like Academy Isla, I think. And it's small, and you're a lot of outdoor stuff, but there's options for sure. Like, we could definitely talk about that. And then being in the States, of course, like sending him to school here makes me nervous too for different reasons. So I don't know, but homeschooling is an option. Hi EJ, how are you? Hi JPM. DR is the best country in the world, don't at me. Okay, Chris, come say hi. We're talking about you. I grew up back and forth. Once you are grown, you'll come to the US due to lack of opportunities in the DR. Can't have the best of both worlds in one place. That's the thing. There's obviously like pros and cons. Like, when I live there, there's parts that I miss about the US. Like, just paying bills is like way easier. Like, getting certain things done is easier, and no one's like, oh, tomorrow. It's like, it will happen tomorrow if you have an appointment, you know? So certain things like that, just like the way things are, like the flow and the speed of things, in certain regards, I like it. In other regards, I'm like, okay, we do things too fast. But then being in the States, there's so many things that I miss about DR. So you're totally right. There's definitely no one place that is ideal. So I never regretted growing up in DR. You'll be more grateful for the small things in life. Yeah, and it's so true. Like, and I say it now, I'm so grateful for all of my experiences. Like, I'm so grateful that I grew up in New York and I had good education, and I got to live in Manhattan too. And like, I lived there alone, so I got so independent, even though it was hard and the city's crazy. And then moving to DR, I was so grateful for like basic things, like kind of like what Emma was saying. So I was grateful that like I didn't grow up in a house that had like insects all the time, and I was so grateful for hot water. Like when I would come to the States to visit, I would just want to like take a bath because I couldn't take a bath in DR or take a really hot shower because where I lived, we had a hot water heater and you'd turn it on like before you showered, but it would never get hot. It would never stay hot. So it would be like a competition. We'd be like, how much can I get done while the hot water is hot? And it would be like, oh, I could like shampoo my hair and then that's it. And it would be freezing after that. So it made me so grateful for hot water, for just like my bed was so much more comfortable here, and food delivery and like all these things that you like take for granted growing up. So it's like, it's very eye-opening. And Emma was talking about it in the video, just being like, yeah, like obvious, someone would look at her house in Massachusetts and her house in DR. And we got comments on that video being like, oh my gosh, how could she live like this, blah, blah, blah. But it's like some people don't care about like comfort things, you know? But it does make you appreciate them. Like so many people in DR don't have refrigerators and they just don't have that. Or someone just said the electricity goes out all the time. So me working like freelancing, it was so hard sometimes to like work because I would be like, the power went out again. And it would be out in Harbacoa, it would be out for like 8 hours sometimes or overnight. And it's hard to navigate, but I just feel like the more experiences you have in life, the better of a person you're gonna be. Not in terms of like, oh, I'm better than you, but like you learn more, you grow more, you appreciate things more, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. And you're just like more adaptable. Like I can literally survive anywhere, I feel like. It's fine. Like, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that was like a rant. But it's great. So I love going back and forth and I love both sides, and there's no perfect situation on either side. There's just not gonna be like one ideal one side that's better than the other. They're both good. Hi Harry. Let's see if Chris will come say hi. He's so shy. What was it like learning Spanish in DR? Oh, it was hard. Like I was saying before, you probably missed it, which is fine. It's hard to learn Spanish in DR because Dominican Spanish is so fast, and they don't really like slow down for you. They don't really care. They're like, they're just gonna keep going. It's funny, like his dad speaks at another speed. Like even Chris barely understands his dad sometimes. Like it's funny to be, you know, at his house, and even his mom, they'll be like, okay. Like they're like, what are you saying? Like I literally don't even know what you're saying. And so I was like, I have no hope. But his dad will just, if I'm like, okay, like he'll say the same exact thing at the same exact speed. And I'm like, no, like not getting it. But you just adapt, and little by little you learn. The good thing is they're patient, and like, yes, they might make fun of you, but they don't mean it in like a mean way. It's just hard to learn. Like I had a Spanish tutor in Santiago. So when in Harbacoa, I didn't. I taught my class in English though, because it was a private like international school. So that was okay. But no, like it was hard. So when I moved to Santiago and I would like be with Chris's friends more and stuff, it's hard when you're like out with a whole group and they're like speaking so quickly and you're like, nope, it's gone. And I have like, I just don't like looking dumb. So I would like just go on my phone or something. But the tutor really helped. And just like the more you practice, the more you're around, the better you get. And there's tutors and institutes and stuff like that. I just think Dominican Spanish is challenging. But now that I know Dominican Spanish, and that's like where I learned, I am really bad at like Spanish from Spain. Like I'll watch a Netflix show with a Spain accent, and I'm like, maybe I don't speak Spanish. I'm like, I don't get it. But like Dominican, I'm good. Que lo que? How are you, Jay? Have you met expats from other Hispanic countries in DR? That's a good question. Chris, do we know expats in DR from other Hispanic countries?
What?
Can you come here?
No,
Do we know like other expats in DR that are from other Hispanic countries instead of the US? No, I guess not. I'm trying to think. No, I had, so some of my friends, some of the teachers at the school, almost all of us were American. There were a couple Canadians though. And then, what? Oh, yes, that's good. So there were a lot of Venezuelans in Jarabacoa, because when I lived in Jarabacoa, that's when things in Venezuela started getting really bad. So
all my Venezuelan family, you met them and they live in the DR. Oh,
I know. Come tell them.
no.
I can't. Why? You look cute. A lot of Venezuelans in DR, like a lot. They just kind of like emigrated to DR to get away from what was going on in Venezuela. So there are a lot of waiters in Jarabacoa and DR that are not Dominican. They're Venezuelan, and you'll notice like they look different and they speak differently. They speak very clearly, and I'm like, oh, like I'll talk to you. And they also get paid even less than Dominicans. So it's like they'll take like waitressing jobs where they're making such low money. But some of my other expat friends in Santiago were from France. One was from Belgium, and they were teaching French at an institute in Santiago, because French is, I feel like people there, they go to language centers to learn English mostly, of course, and then French. So they were teaching French. So yeah, but not too many like other countries. I mean, when we were in Punta Cana this time, we met people from Argentina and stuff, but they were just on vacation. So all of Chris's family that lived in Venezuela, they live back in DR now, because it was so bad there. How did I get a tutor in Santiago? I don't know where I found him. I think I found him on like Corodos or like Facebook. He put up an ad. But he's really nice. If you need his information, I can give it to you. And he'll probably do like remote too. He's just in college there studying to be a doctor. Super nice. So I would just go see him like once a week. And it was pretty good. Chris, no, he's fully dressed, but I don't know what he's doing. My skin is so itchy. I don't know why. He's shy, guys, honestly. Do I speak French too? Are you a bilingual? I speak English and Spanish, and that's it. Je m'appelle Mills. That's it. No, my mom spoke French. She still speaks some, but she spoke really good French, so I don't know why I didn't learn anything. But nope, just English and Spanish. I totally wish that I spoke like 5 languages, but it's hard. Even Spanish is hard. I don't think that I could learn French. Like my friend who's from France, she would try to teach me certain words, and I was like, no. Like certain numbers are like 500 words long, it sounds like. And like that sound, I can't. So, I mean, I can do anything, but French is hard, but it's pretty. I like it. When they would speak French together, my 2 expat friends, because one was Belgian, and one was from France, I was like in a trance, like, what are you guys saying? But no, just Spanish and English. And Chris spoke more French when he was little because he learned French in school. It was like a mandatory requirement. Did you try out jobs in DR, and how much money did you make? I taught in DR. That's what I moved there for. So I taught in Jarabacoa, and I made like $400 US a month. So it was like nothing. I mean, and I don't want to say it like that. It was, because most people there are making like $200 to $400 a month. So obviously it's doable. But that being said, I had bills still in the States. Like I had my car payment and stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. So before I moved there, that's when I started working remotely on the side, part-time. And that helped, but it was a lot of work because I would work 7 to 4 at the school, and then I would come home and like freelance and work and try to like work at school on my breaks for my clients, and like my internet was literally like 2 megabytes an hour, so it was so slow. But yeah, that's my Dominican job. If you're here and you didn't listen to my spiel, make sure you're subbed, give me a thumbs up. All that helps so much. It helps like push the algorithm and have my videos be seen more. And then I tutored some in Santiago. Yeah, but like I couldn't like work at like a coffee shop or I don't know, in other places, because you need to have residency or a cedula to work there. So yeah, it would be fun to like work at a hotel or something. I feel like I like that. Clothes expensive in DR. Yeah, they are expensive, and I would not recommend them because a lot of times they're just not really good quality. And like a lot of our friends, and Chris included, growing up, would order their clothes from the States. And when I lived there, I would order my clothes from the States and just get them delivered to like through BM Cargo or something. It's just easier. Clothes are all imported there for the most part. They're expensive, like expensive. So shoes are expensive, and jeans and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was so hard to find jeans. And just, especially in Jarabacoa, the clothes are not good. So I always like ship them or just brought stuff, but they can definitely be pricey. How much Spanish did you know prior to going to DR? I don't know. Let's see if Chris remembers. Chris! He probably like left the house because he's tired of me asking questions. Chris! Chris! How much Spanish did I know before I moved to DR? He's gonna say something mean. How much? Oh, quite a lot. Like percent. He's done. 30? That's not quite a lot. I'm done with you. No, I knew a good amount. I think, like I said, Chris and I used to only speak Spanish together, and I was like, how did we do that? I think I knew a decent amount of Spanish, but I didn't say things in the way that like Dominicans would say things, you know, and I still don't all the time, but I knew a decent amount, like 50%. I was like intermediate. I could talk to people, but I wasn't fluent. So I learned way more when I moved there. J. Mills sounds sexy when you say it. I highly doubt that, but thanks. Beautiful eyes. Thank you. I get that compliment sometimes, but not like that much because they're just brown, but I'll take it. I saw on your Instagram you prefer being called Mills. Is that your middle name? Yeah, Mills is my middle name. And it's actually funny. That one post, like, story got way too many, like, replies that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to, like, just do, like, sit down and talk, because people didn't understand it, because Dominicans, a lot of them call me Rebecca, because Mills is, like, not a name, and, like, they can't say it. And then at work, like in the States too, I would introduce myself as Rebecca a lot because I would be shy. And like when they got my documents and like my legal name is Rebecca Mills and then my last name. So I was like, I just didn't want to be like, oh, call me Mills. But I have never been called Rebecca like in my life up until like college when I got nervous and I let my professors call me that. But my dad named me Rebecca, my mom named me Mills. And then they thought that Rebecca sounded better in the front, but they were always going to call me Mills. So it is just Mills, and like that's my name. It's not short for anything. My Instagram name is just Rebecca Mills because Mills is like taken, and I didn't want to put my last name. So I don't know. It's like really confusing for people. So that's why I was like, unless you speak Spanish or I introduced you as Rebecca, or we work together. Like my clients call me Rebecca. I was like, don't call me Rebecca, because I feel like some of my friends like do it as a joke here, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. Like my name's Mills. So yeah, it's my middle name, basically, long story short. And I've always gone by that. Like I knew my name was Rebecca, but like not even. What do you think is a must take to Dominican Republic from the States? That's a good question. I have a video on that. So if you want like a full video, definitely search like what to bring to the Dominican Republic. But I would say, well, to move or for a trip. If you're gonna move there, I would bring like certain American foods and stuff that you really like that are really expensive there, like peanut butter, certain snacks, nuts, and stuff like that. Clothes. Some people that are like legit moving there like forever with family will bring like pots and pans and a toaster and different small appliances because that's really expensive in DR. And like good pots and pans and stuff are hard to get there. People bring, you know, all your prescriptions. I always recommend to bring them like months in advance if your doctor will do that. Contact solution, because they never had the kind that I wanted. Makeup, shampoo and conditioner, that kind of stuff is expensive there, like different toiletries. So I always recommend people to bring that. Different like chargers and extra cables and stuff, because if my Mac broke, like I broke my charger once, it was so hard to find the right charger there. Yeah, medicines that you might want or need. But you can get everything that you need in the States. Or in DR, sorry. What made me decide to move to DR years ago? So I first went to DR when I was 14, I think. And I went with my church, actually. And I went on a mission trip to Jarabacoa, and that's where I first like found the city. Otherwise, like it's not like a popular destination in DR in terms of like for tourists, just to, like who are visiting the country. And I worked at a school there, and I like fell in love with it, and I was obsessed. And I went back every year, so I went back like 5 times on all those trips, and then I went to Las Terrenas on a trip like that twice, and then my mom and I went, and I was just obsessed. But now I'm not really like a huge fan of short-term mission trips like that. I can do a video about that as to why, excuse me, if that's interesting to people, and I won't like go on my rant right now, but that's where I first started going to DR. And then I didn't go at all during college. I had like a long-term boyfriend and stuff, and I was in school and whatever. Moved to Manhattan, and then I just kind of like got tired of living in Manhattan and working, and I wanted to like do something different. Me and my 2 best friends, we went on a vacation to DR. It was so much fun, like literally the best trip ever. We had a blast. We went to Jarabacoa, we went to Santiago, we went to Cabarete, and it was amazing. And I was like in the water, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I live in Manhattan, which is funny because like so many people want to move there too. And it's not that I wasn't grateful, but I was like, I worked so hard. I was in sales, and I don't know, I just feel like I want to be here because my family moved to Arizona at that point. And I was like, before I move to Arizona, I just want to like go abroad and like experience something. So I went, that was in July of 2016, I think, and then I went back in August by myself for a week and interviewed at the schools and like whatever. So that's why I decided to move there. I think I just didn't want to like settle down in Arizona. I always wanted to move abroad. I didn't study abroad in college because I like got nervous. I totally should have. I got nervous, and like I had that boyfriend. Didn't want to like be away from him for like 6 months, which is so dumb looking back. So yeah, that's kind of why. And I, you know, wanted to teach abroad, and I just finally did it, but it took me like a year to make that decision. I was really, really nervous. And at first my parents were straight up like, no, like they were just like, no. And then I worked on them, and they came around, and then they were like, you should do it. I'm visiting my fiance in a few weeks. I'd like some of your advice. Okay. Can I answer anything specifically? That's so fun. I hope it's fun. I mean, I know it will be fun, but I hope you have a great time. Do you think it's better to take female products from the States? Oh my gosh, yes. That's such a good one. Yes, because they have like obviously everything you need there, but even like living in Jarabacoa, sorry guys, tangent, but it's okay because we're all adults here. They don't have tampons in Jarabacoa. Like they did not. They only had pads. So I was like, okay. So no variety. And then in Santiago too, if you do find tampons, it's like one kind. So they don't have like organic stuff. And if they do, it's so expensive. So yes, that's a good one. Bring all of that. Definitely. How is Mateo doing? He'll be running the house soon as he can walk. Oh my gosh, Harry. He already runs the house. He is so funny. Like, I wish I could like post the video like while we're talking, but he's funny. Like, he's 9 months now. He turned 9 months on the 5th, and he just like is always happy and so fun. And he was just like eating in his high chair before, and he's just like talking to I don't know who, himself. I'm like obsessed. I mean, obviously, watch me like start crying right now. That would be awkward, but I'm so obsessed with him, and he's so good. He's crawling all over the place. He stands up. He can't like walk yet, but he can like walk along like the couch and hold on to stuff. He's so active. Like, this boy does not sleep. He's sleeping now. I'm actually amazed he's been asleep this whole time. Like, seriously. But he barely takes naps. He'll take like 2 20-minute naps a day pretty much, because he just has FOMO and he wants to be involved in everything. And he's just like running all over, like basically running around. He like pulls my hair out every day. He bites me, but he's not in like a mean way, but he's so active and he's so fun though. It's the best, seriously. Like, Mateo is so fun, guys. I can't. Like, he's the best. I love him. I like miss him so much when he's asleep. Make Mateo a DR citizen because those vacations over 30s have fees. Yeah, we're gonna do that and get his citizenship. And then I want mine too, because I'm like, wait, that's not fair. That's basically what happened to me at school. I was or am Luis. First name at home, my family calls me Samuel. I know, and I know a lot of families like that, that are like, we call them this at home. But I like literally at school was Mills, and like home was Mills, and sports and soccer, and like everything. Like, no one even knew my name was Rebecca until I went to college, and I was like, I like anxiety. I was like, I cannot say, like, I can't go up to my professor and be like, no, call me Mills, because not only is it like, no, don't call me Rebecca, can you call me Katie? You know, it's like Mills. A lot of people then are like, what's Mills? Like, that's not a name, or like, where'd that come from? And I'm shy, so I was like, I can't deal with that at all. But yeah. Oh yeah, just email me. That's fine. Or Instagram me. I guess it's hot sometimes. Oh my gosh, it's so hot here. It's 110 degrees all week still. I'm so over it. Where'd your baby get his beautiful light eyes from? I don't know. From Chris. Chris has green eyes. Should I bring him in here so you can see? He won't. But he has really pretty eyes. Let's see. Chris, hey. Can you come here for a sec? It's important. Kawaina, he said. God bless your son. Thank you. Let's see if he'll come show his eyes. He probably won't. I have a question. Dominican grandmothers have a long list of remedies with stinky ingredients. Oh my gosh. Literally. I've been sick this week and everyone's like, make the onion tea. I'm like, I'm not making onion tea. Can you show your eye color?
No.
Yes. In the light. Because like, this is my eye color. Look at my mascara. This is my only makeup I have on. People are asking about Mateo's eyes. So mine are like light brown. What are you doing? No, this way. You're so weird. He's like shy. Put your eyeball on my screen. Green. Chris has green eyes. So Mateo's eyes are blue and green. They're like a cool green-blue color. Oh, okay. I don't know. They're from Chris's side, I guess. But he has really pretty eyes. People always assume like that Mateo has light eyes because of me, and I'm like, no, not me. Yeah, the onion tea and stuff. Ew, I can't. Remember Los Pucamaima days? I know. It's crazy. You both only spoke Spanish together. When did you switch to English? Not for a while. I don't know. Like, we would like text all the time in Spanish, and then I guess like, when we met in Santiago, the like first probably I was in Harbacoa for like a week, and then we moved to, or I went to see him in Santiago, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna be friends, like. And he was like, I'll show you, you know, the monument and stuff. And I didn't have any friends there, so I was like, sure. And we like video chat and everything before, and I like scoped out the situation. I'm very like good at reading people, so I was like, okay, I think it's fine. So I went, and I think that day we did like a mix, and I found out like he is so good at English that I was like, when did we start speaking English together?
Huh?
Like we used to only speak Spanish. And yeah, and then we switched to English. Like that first weekend when we hung out, were we speaking English mostly or Spanish? I feel like it was like a mix. But I was like, oh my gosh, Chris, you're so good at English. Like, why did you... He was like kind of shy to speak English with me at first. And I'm like, dang, you really have me out here speaking like this half-ass Spanish when you are fully fluent. I was so annoyed. And then we kind of like switched. But we do both now. It kind of depends what we're talking about, but mostly English. I feel like he's just so good. Yeah, Chris does miss all of his friends, but like he's so funny because he doesn't like get upset about it or anything. He's just fine. But it was so fun to to go see them. It was amazing. Very beautiful. Hope you're a heartbreaker. Thank you. He's the best. How many luggages did you bring when you went? Me and my husband are up to 6. Oh my gosh. To move? That makes sense. When I moved there, actually very impressive. I had one big suitcase that weighed like 60 pounds. So I definitely paid like over the fee for that. And then I had a big backpack. It was huge. So I stuffed that. Like that would barely zip. And then I had one normal size backpack. And that was it. Wow, that's impressive. But now, oh my gosh, when we went on vacation there, we had more stuff. And it's because the baby has so many stuff. I can't. But honestly, whatever you bring is fine. I bet you prefer Spanish to argue with Chris. Insults hit better. Don't know why. Yeah, like when you're mad in Spanish, it's like, oh, like it's like scary. But Chris and I don't argue that much, so we don't like get in like screaming matches or anything. He doesn't like fight with me. Like I would be more likely to like say something to him. Yeah, it just depends. I speak like a lot of Spanglish with him because certain words are better in English and certain words are better in Spanish and more impactful in Spanish. Like cállate is way better than shut up. Like shut up's just me. Cállate is like, that's okay. But yeah, we don't like we don't fight really. So unfortunately, no interesting fights here, but some of my friends who have like a Dominican and American partner, some of their fights, I'll like see texts and stuff, and I'm like, Spanish always wins. Spanish is like, oh, some of the insults, you're right, are mean. I'm like, dang. Still packing, that's fine. Here we go. I hate how fast this appears. Do they have condoms in DR? Because I hear a lot of people get the HIV in DR just asking if they... Yes, they do. At all the pharmacies and Comados, they do.
Wait, what? What was that?
Well, I don't know. I'm just providing information. He asked if there's condoms in DR.
Obviously.
Well, don't say obviously if he didn't know. Someone said just not... Someone said just not small ones. Just not small ones.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like we're not like a jungle. Like we're...
I know, but he was saying like whatever. He doesn't get it. Yeah, they do. I want to move to DR next year. Do you consult? I do do like lots of consults. So definitely email me if you're interested. I usually make like a Google Doc for everyone and really like take my time and talk with you and customize it and stuff because can you not? Because it was so hard to find information when I was moving to DR. I was on like DR1's website and like trying to find Facebook groups and stuff, but it was so hard to get my questions answered. So now I help people that are moving there. So if you're interested, I do consults. I think I have a link go to the description on like my other video, but I have a Calendly link. You can like set up a time with me or whatever you want. Or just Instagram me or email me, and I can answer your questions and put you in contact with different people, realtors and all this stuff. Mills, I think due to situation and lack of jobs, inflation, etc., maybe we'll be better secure a job in the US, save money, security, vacation DR. Yeah, that's like kind of what Chris is saying. Like he makes so much more money here than he does or could in DR as an engineer. So it's kind of frustrating that like there aren't more opportunities. It sucks, but like, yeah, going back and forth is the ideal situation for us, I think. And having our house there. What's the best restaurant in Santiago? Oh my gosh, what kind of food do you like? I'll name a few. My lips are so chapped. Usually I have my chapstick like right here. I don't know where it is. So I really like, Square One's really good if you're down for like diner food, American food, comfort food, lots of options, pasta, all of that. Square One, and it's open 24/7 and it's really cheap. I also really like Ristorante. It's like weird. They have really good pizza and it's cheap too. They have good like bruschetta and stuff. I like, oh my gosh, one of my favorites is called, hi Rude. One of my favorites is called Naturally Stay. You guys have probably heard me talk about it because I'm obsessed with it. It's like a kind of like Taiwanese, Asian kind of food. It's so good. Jade for Chinese, you're right. Oli's for sushi is good. I don't like sushi, but Oli's is good. Babe, what's the Italian place called? Where? That we go to that has pizza and pasta and stuff. Where? Like we went with Jen. Yeah. Yeah. Tacania? Trattoria. No, I think it's La Tacania. Is it Tacania? It's called La Locanda. La Locanda. Not Tocanda. They have really good pasta, really good pizza. Scori is from the same family as Square One. They have good like brunch and salads and stuff. La Cafeteria on Pucamaima is good. Chef Pepper is really good. It's kind of like fast food. They have really good chicken sandwiches. I like that place. Moo, like M-U-U, is what? Meat place. It's like a meat truck. They have really good meats and fries and stuff, like sides. It's not like a big menu. What's the place we went to with the twins and Christina? La Baita? La Porteña is good. La Baita? Or Maita? La Baita is the Italian restaurant in our home. Oh, duh. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what's the one that you just said? La Porteña. Wow. That one's really good. They have really good like meats and stuff. There's so many good restaurants in Santiago, honestly. And then if you want like, KGB Kitchen's really good. They have really good salads. They have good, they have so many good things there. Yeah. Naturally Stay is the best, Simon. I love it. I always say it weird though, so that's probably why you keep saying it. That's like my favorite. They have boba tea. They have La Plancha Caliente is the best thing ever. Get that. It's just so good. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then we like introduced one of our Dominican friends to it, and he really liked it a lot. Even though it was like a little spicy for him, it was good. So yeah, there's so many good restaurants. What else? Santo Domingo Cafe is good just for like coffees. There's lots of cute cafes. Brunch is one I mentioned earlier. I like that to like work remotely at. The Foodtropolis is good, and that's just like all different food trucks. And then there's a lot of like little mini food truck neighborhoods throughout the city. Foodtropolis is probably the biggest one. And they have everything. So they have Barbecue Express, which is really good. They have different, like, there's like a seafood one, different pastas, meat. It's just good. And I like those because then like everyone can get something they like. I love Naturaliste. How was your process? Wait, what time is it there? It's late. I should be in bed. It's only 9:46. I'm an infant. How is the process to do the house chores you post of people living? What do you mean the process? Can you explain that? Can you ask your husband if there still is a Japanese community in Dominican Republic? Wait, why don't you just ask me? I'm just kidding. There is. And it's actually really cool. Like, that I did not know that before moving there. So in Harbacoa, where I lived and taught, there is a decent Japanese community. And in Constanza also. So like less than an hour north from Harbacoa. And it's cool. Like my friend Yuri, her grandpa, like they have been in, she's like Dominican, like she's never been to Japan. She doesn't know that side of her culture at all, but she's also Japanese. So during, like, this was like years and years and years ago, they had like a campaign to attract more Asians to DR, and they like went there. There were a lot of Jewish refugees to DR too. So Sosua has in their flag like a German, Sosua has like a German thing in the flag, or a Jewish part in the flag, because there's a lot of refugees from World War II. What?
No, Sosua was founded by Jewish people.
Yeah, it was founded by them. But I'm saying it was in the flag. So they like refugees from Germany during World War II, but also Japanese. It's really cool. Like during different times with them, they were kind of like not recruited, but you know what I mean? Like there were like different campaigns to move there, and they work in agriculture up there. But then also there's a decent like Chinese population too. And some of them owns like different clothing stores in Harbacoa, but we see a kind of a decent amount in Santiago. There's a good amount of Chinese people, right? Kind of. But also, and in different parts of the city too, but I think there's another YouTuber, and he is Japanese, but he speaks Spanish, obviously, and he lives in DR, and he just makes videos about his experience, which also is like, oh, he like blew up fast. I think it's because his channel's in Spanish, but super cool. Like, there's a lot of Japanese people, a lot of Chinese people, not a lot, but like you see them, and there's a community. It's cool because some of my students, one of the administrators was Japanese, and her daughters were Japanese, and they have like whole Japanese festivals in Harbacoa, and like they learn their culture, and they like have dances and speak the language and all that stuff. It's super cool. Sorry. Oh, Molino and Mocha has great view and awesome food. Oh, that would be nice. Mocha's good. I've been there to Imofongo. Did you teach your boyfriend English? That's my husband. Or did he learn himself English, and what was hard for him? Chris learned English since he was 6. He was in an English institute with his siblings. His mom spoke English, so she knew that it was really important for him to speak English and work and stuff, because she uses English a lot at her job. So she knew that she wanted to put him in like an institute. So he's been in institutes learning English since he was 6 years old. By the time he was like, babe, when did you like get fluent in English?
When I was like 13.
13 maybe. He also really learned a lot of English on his own too, because he was always on the computer. He loved English music, like shows and stuff like that. He was always like researching different things, and he'd like read the lyrics to songs. So he like I think he was better at English than his brother and his sister at that age, but then they live in the States now too. So his brother is completely fluent too, and his sister's pretty fluent. but yeah, he learned himself, so I didn't teach him, thank goodness, because that would be hard. There's certain words even now that he's like, what does that mean? Because it's like an obscure word or something, and vice versa for me in Spanish, but more. So that was just really nice with our relationship, because I don't know if, like, it's hard if you don't speak Spanish and the other person doesn't speak English. It's like, how can you like really connect on a deep level? Because there's certain relationships that I see that are like only one of the, like, they don't speak each other's language more than like basics, and then it's like their conversations are all like, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. I love you. You're beautiful. Well, yeah, I feel like, because there's so much in language, whatever. But it was nice because I didn't have to teach him anything. He already knew. He's just fluent. What are some job options in Santiago for expats that isn't teaching? I have another video on that too. So if you search that, like jobs in Dominican Republic for expats, basically it's like, yeah, call center. You could teach, you could be a teacher, or you could teach English at an institute. You can, you could work in the tourism industry. Some of them don't require a cedula, but a lot do. You could, I've seen other jobs that are like kind of sponsored from the States. So they're like state jobs or companies that have a location in DR or business in DR, so they need you there, and you don't necessarily need your cedula because you're working for that company. But it is hard to find a job, like a normal job, like everyday job. Like say I wanted to work at a bank or something. It's hard to do that without a cedula, or residency. So the options are kind of limited, but check that video because I know I'm forgetting some things. How long did it take to bring Chris over after you got married? So we actually got married in the States, not in DR. So we wanted to get married, and we went back and forth, like, should we do the CR1 visa, which is getting married in DR and then moving here, or should we do the K1 visa, which is getting married here? And then for different reasons, like a bunch of reasons, we decided to do a K1 visa. So we applied for the visa in December 2018. Yeah. And then we got approved in May 2019. And then we had our interview at the end of July. And then we moved here in August 2019. So it took like, I don't know, that math, from December to August to get here. And then we got married in September in Arizona, and then we submit our application in October. He did his biometrics here in December, and then since January 2020, he was like ready for his interview, and we were literally just waiting. So we waited from January 2020 to January 2021, so a whole year, until he had his green card interview. So that was just in January of this year, and he got approved. He got his work permit in April 2020, so it still took like 6 months for him to be able to work, which was hard. But yeah, that was like kind of that process. If you could have economical security, you could have a good life in DR. Oh yeah, for sure. What are the movies in Dominican Republic in Spanish? Do they have English movies like the theater? Yeah, they do. It just depends, and they will put on the website, is it like, especially if it's a new release, they'll put like, is it in Spanish or is it in English? Sometimes they'll do, sometimes they'll do like the big movies like Black Panther. They'll do in English with Spanish subtitles on the bottom. And sometimes I've seen it where it's like both in English, like subtitles in English and subtitles and like the voice in English. Like we went to see Quiet Place, that was in English. And then other movies are in Spanish, and like they have a voiceover, and it's like terrible. But some are in Spanish and you don't even like really notice that it's a voiceover. But I feel like most of the movies we went to see were in English with Spanish subtitles, because we would go see like popular new ones. And then of course they have like Dominican movies too that are always in Spanish. You're like every Dominican Guy's dream come true, light skin, face, and nice assets. God bless Chris. Babe, am I your dream come true?
What?
Am I? He's like, no. Am I your dream come true?
Sort of, yeah.
What? He said sorta, yeah. Raul, I'm single. I'm just kidding. Thank you, I appreciate that. But I will say, Dominican women are gorgeous and so beautiful. So I definitely don't think like being light skinned is like an asset really. Some people prefer and some people don't. So yeah, I mean, it's just like preference. I feel like there's so many, and I feel like a lot of times people will like tell me like, you think you're hot, like Dominican women are better than you. And I'm like, I literally don't have even one video ever where I'm like, I'm hot. Like, I look better than everyone, and like Dominican women are ugly and I look great. Like, no. Like, I don't believe that. Dominican women are so pretty. As you guys know, I feel like guys too, especially like a lot of the expats that they watch are guys, like American guys, because they want to see Dominican women. So it's like, they're gorgeous. And Chris actually, like, he doesn't really care about like color. Like he likes like all different shades, which for me too, I'm like, I don't really like light men. So I don't know. Anyway, another tangent, but thank you. I appreciate you saying that because I don't have any makeup on right now. So I feel like a mess. But yeah, they're just like, Dominican women are like gorgeous. I'm like, sometimes I'm so jealous of them. But that's just part of being a girl. When teaching, do they give you the content that you want you to teach or tell you to teach? Teaching English, a lot of the schools will give you curriculum for you, which is nice. But some of them don't, and then you have to just like find stuff online. But a lot of the schools do. They'll have like a book and then a teacher's book, and you just go off the book, which is cool. But for me, for example, I had like curriculum, but not, and I was teaching like 8 subjects, like math, science, social studies, Bible, everything. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to give me anything. So I would have to like find all the resources and curriculum and stuff myself. Not fun. But usually teaching English, they do give you what you need more or less, which is nice. My lips are so chapped. 2 years after that, he'll have submit an I-75. Yeah, so the process is long. We're still in it. We'll have another interview. We still have everything. But he does have his green card. How often do I wear jewelries? Not that often. I have my Apple Watch. I have this bracelet that says Mateo that my friend gave me. And then I have this one that says gratitude that I never take off that my mom gave me. And I have my cross. And like usually I'll wear earrings when I go out, but that's about it. And my wedding band. But yeah, nothing crazy. It's like hard because if I have like long earrings on, Mateo like rips them out. Really enjoyed listening to you. Please stay safe and stay strong. Thank you, John. I hope your lockdown is fast. Thanks for watching. Happy anniversary. Thank you. Our anniversary is September 26th. So it's coming up. It's crazy. 2 years. And then we've been dating for like, we've been together for, I think 4 years. Yeah, 2 years married. What Dominican women are fine until they beg you for your cell phone reloads and salon? It depends, Raul, on the type of Dominican woman you're talking to and where you're finding them. And I think that's a common misconception. There is a certain like cultural difference, I think, with relationships and dating. Even if it's like a Dominican man and a Dominican woman, yes, a lot of the women sometimes will expect their boyfriends to pay for like their weekly salon trips and stuff like that. But that being said, like a lot of our Dominican friends that are men that are dating women, they don't have that situation at all. So it just depends on like what type of person you're dating. And then also it's like a lot of American men will be like, oh, she like scammed me for money, or like she only wants my money. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like you're dating a certain type of Dominican woman and it's like maybe it's a mismatch and there's not really love, but I don't know. It's like it's a sensitive subject for some people because I think a lot of guys that are in that situation like don't want to admit that there's something else there. But for sure, a lot of Dominican men will use women and a lot of women will use men, but there's like many that don't as well. Like Chris and I have never been like that, obviously. I feel like whatever, but in the beginning, like he paid for absolutely everything, but I never was like, give me, like you have to pay for, I don't know, you know, it was just easy, but yeah, it wasn't an issue. Dominicans are gorgeous. Dominicans are literally gorgeous, like the most attractive people, and it's not fair because I'm like, I'll be in like the campo in like, okay, I remember I would go on trips to Barbacoa in the summers, and I was young, I was in high school, and I would go to the Colmado, which was like it's like a bodega, like, but this one was like a shack, literally, with like dirt floor and everything, small. It was like in the campo in Barbacoa, like 20-30 minutes outside the city. And this kid that worked there was like a model, like gorgeous, like he would literally be a movie star here. So handsome with blue eyes. And then the kids that lived next door, they were adorable kids with like curly blonde hair, so beautiful. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all the people here, you can be in like the countryside and like your moto control driver looks like a model. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you a taxi driver? Like, you're so pretty. The girl's so pretty too. It's just like very attractive people. I'm like, this is okay, why am I here? But yeah, I don't know. And I feel like a lot of them know it too, so there's that. And then a lot of them don't know it, and I'm like, a lot of the women too, like sometimes they won't. And a lot of my old students, I taught 4th grade, so they're like 9 and 10. A lot of them would say like, oh, I want to look like you, or like, oh, I want my skin to be your color, or no, I'm not playing outside because I don't want to get tan, or I wish my hair was like yours. And I'm like, first of all, my hair is curly. It's not like pin straight, and I would always wear my hair curly there. I never straightened it, so I'm like, we have like, your hair's curly, my hair's curly, and you know, like we had to do a lot of lessons on like skin color and like being like whatever, like loving you as you are and stuff. But now I see more and more Dominican women wearing their natural hair and stuff, and I'm like, good, you guys are perfect. I guess US is too formal for Chris. He can only be a real Dominican when he's in Santiago. I mean, I don't know. Chris is like kind of like Americanized. Like a lot of his Dominican friends too will be like, you're like a gringo for real. Like I feel like more Dominican than him sometimes, but he just like fits in wherever he is. I feel like he adapts really well to wherever he is, honestly. Have you ever seen the movie Sankey Panky? No, I haven't seen it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. What advice will you give to a person who'd like to move to DR? I feel like just do your research. I always recommend like going on a trip there. If you haven't been, 100% you should be going there and exploring the country and different areas to live and seeing the culture and all of that, because some of it's like romanticized, some of it is different on YouTube than it is in person. Some YouTubers don't show like accurate things. So you really want to go on a trip and see where you want to live and see the culture and see if you adapt well to it, and like spend it like a long amount of time there where you have to like be self-sufficient, like go get groceries and all of that, because that's where you really see what life is like. But yeah, just like do your research before you go there. Try to make some friends right when you get there, because it's a very like social culture. So that's why I wanted to make friends right away, because I knew if I don't have friends, I'm not gonna do anything. Like I'm not gonna, I don't know, I'm not gonna like go anywhere, because it's just like all a big friend group. So definitely do that. And then like have your finances in order. Don't be like reliant on like a certain job, and then if it falls through, like what are you gonna do? Like have a backup plan. I just like did so much research, honestly, but I do consults too if you need help. We can talk, but I definitely looked up a lot of stuff. How was Chris job search, credential recognition? That's a good question. I'll have them come in here. Are you deleting your comments? Oh no. Did you date Dominicans in New York City? And do you have any friends from back home who dated Dominican guys? Yes, because I'm from New York. Like I said earlier, I know a lot of Dominicans from before I moved to DR, or, you know, whatever, like from my town, or when I moved to Manhattan. Like, there's so many Dominicans. I lived on the Upper West Side, so I was really close to Washington Heights, so I did know Dominicans. I worked with Dominicans. I didn't date any Dominicans though. There was like one that I was friends with, and then I had some friends in high school that were Dominican, and then I like talked to a Dominican in DR for a bit, but that was a song. But I haven't like dated any Dominicans until Chris. Don't make Chris jealous. He is my Dominican OG. He does like to chat with us. Look, I'll have him come answer this question. He's just shy, guys. So a lot of times he does videos and everyone's like, he's so quiet, but he's not. He's so funny in real life. It's funny. He's so different. Chris, we just have one more question and then that's it. That someone wants to ask you about your job. I need chapstick. Can you come here? They said like you don't like to chat with us and people are offended. Look at the sticker I made. Do you guys like it? I made it. Can you answer this question? Someone said, how is your job search, like your credential recognition? Like being an engineer and stuff here. Can you come explain it real quick?
No, I'm not want to be on camera, but...
Why don't you want to be on camera? They think that you don't like them.
No, I like him, but I just don't want to be on camera.
Are you shy? Is it because you cut your hair?
What's the question?
Is it because you cut your hair?
No, what's the question?
They said, how was your job search, like with your credentials, like your engineering degree? Was it hard to get a job in the States, like having a degree in DR?
No, it's not. It's not hard to get a job here. There's just so many.
He says no, it wasn't hard to get a job here.
This is shortage of.
His first job here was not a structural engineer. It was within engineering, but not like full engineer, like what he was doing. And that job was like easy for him to get, but it was beneath him, kind of. No offense to say, but that was pretty easy for him to get. Once he got the green card, he started working like a week later. I was like, okay, Chris. But was it hard for you to get this job? Because now he is an engineer.
What?
Was it hard for you to get this? Like, were they asking you a lot of questions about your degree and stuff?
No.
I think also here is like he can prove that he knows what he's doing, because engineering is like it's like a hard skill. So it's like here, the test project, can you do it or can you not? Because if they gave it to me, I would be like, no, I don't know the first thing about what he does. But for him, he could be like, yeah, I can do that. And then he can or he can't, and they can check it, his work. You know what I mean? So yeah, in that regard, like, it's kind of easy. Should I sell these stickers? No one would buy that. But yeah, he did really well. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Simon. Some jobs, like, they won't recognize. So he will have to do a test to get his engineering license. And everyone here needs to do that same test. So that's not really different for him. But he needs to do like an apprenticeship, and then to be like a certified or professional engineer, he has to do a test for that, and he will do that probably next year or something. But same process. But luckily for him, like, he went to Pucamaima is a really good college there, so that's good. Then like a lot of jobs here will recognize his degree from there. But others, like other colleges, like he's known some people like they're trying to get a job in the States, and that they won't accept their like degree. So luckily he has a good one. But you're right, like my friend went to school in Santiago at Pucamaima to be a dentist, like not a dental hygienist, like an actual dentist. And I don't know if she finished or what really went on there, but she came here to the States and she's a dental hygienist. Like, she's not a dentist because it wasn't the same level of certifications. And especially anything like medical in the States is like very strict, and you have to be doing the exact education and testing as you would in the States. So she's like basically had to start over on her education, which really sucks. A lot of the same with like doctors, and I don't want to say like the education's bad, because it's not. Chris is on the same level as an engineer here. He's super smart, and he's very well educated, but I have heard like a lot of, and this might not be Pucamaima, but a lot of them, like nurses there, they can't be nurses here, because it's like, what I've been told is like a nurse there is pretty much like a CNA level here, education wise. And they're doing things that like maybe they don't have like the full certification or education for here. So they kind of have to like do school over a lot, which sucks. Hello, honey, I'm home. Hi, Michael. Well explained. Thank you. That's right. Pucamaima it is internationally recognized, which is super cool. My dentist situation, so hard to go through the process. Boards in 2 years and over 150K in debt. Absolutely not. Yeah, so like certain jobs, and it would make sense. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if engineering, like he had to redo something, because that's a very specific technical job. You know, it's different than like a business degree or like marketing or something. But he's done well so far. Like he has a good job right now. Is there any produce against African Americans in DR? Prejudice. I was like, do you mean prejudice? Autocorrect. Can you ask Chris their views? I will ask him. I need chapstick. I can't find any. I know the solution is just get up and get some, but I think it's all in my car. Chris, do you think, I guess I can answer this, but they asked you specifically if there's prejudice against African Americans in DR. Do you mean specifically like Americans, not just black people? What? He says yes, against any black people. But, okay, in terms of like a black American person going to DR. In what way? What? Like prejudiced against, like a tourist. Not really. Like, no, not really. Some of my, Simone is African American, and she lived with me. She's my roommate. She's from Oklahoma, and she moved there. Didn't speak Spanish, and one thing that bothered her a lot of, I don't know, I look like a mess. A lot of the times, they would say like, negra, or morena. That's like what Raul just said. And at first, when they started calling her negra, she was like, what? Like, she'd turn around like, what did you just say? Like, because that's very similar to other words that we've never said here. But they're very like just point blank, and they'll like describe you as they see you. So they would be like, oh, morena, like brown girl technically. And they don't mean anything. They're not calling you a name. They're just like describing you. Like literally people will say to me like, oh, you're fat. And I'd be like, that hurts my feelings. Okay. But they're just like being like to your face. They'll say like, you're beautiful, or not really, like whatever. So in that regard, and I don't think that's like prejudice. They're just kind of like describing you. But in certain situations, like there's Dominicans that are like so much lighter than me. Like one of Chris's cousins, literally, I thought he was albino. He's so white, blonde hair, blue eyes. And then some are super, super dark. I feel like people think that there's like more of an issue between like Dominicans and Haitians than black Dominicans and white Dominicans, if that makes sense. But there are certain things that like I feel like is like colorism, like preferences with some people, not everyone. Like Mateo is like light. He's getting tanner as he gets older, but he's light and he has light eyes. And when we were there, a couple people said to me, like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky he has light eyes. Like, you're so lucky. Or like, you know, can you get me an American guy that, or even a Dominican guy? I don't care what he is, as long as like he's light, that I can have a baby that looks like him. And I'm like, there's a lot to unpack there. Like, I don't know. I feel really weird about you saying that, because like, what does that mean? Because like, first of all, I have brown eyes, so I'm like, okay. The second of all, it's like, what? Light eyes aren't better. Light skin is not better. So there's just certain things that people say that you're like, oh, like, what is that? Like Chris used to say to me all the time, and he still says stuff like this sometimes, but he's getting better. He'll be like, I have bad hair. And I'm like, what is bad hair? Like, there's no bad hair. So I just say like whole lesson with my kids, like my students, like there's no good hair. There's no bad hair. There's no whatever. It's like, oh, so that stuff like still gets me, but they're getting there and they're getting better. And it's like, they're not all like, oh, only straight hair now. Like I always wear my hair like this. And less and less people now tell me, because when I first moved there, they'd be like, come to the salon with us, we need to like straighten your hair. And I'm like, no, like first of all, it's so humid, my hair is gonna be back to this in a second. But now every time I go, like I said, like I see more and more women like natural hair, but they won't be like prejudiced against you out and about and anything like that. But I know this is a valid concern, and if you do want to talk to me about that, I have people are retracting a lot of messages. Did I say something wrong? If you do want to talk, I have an African American friend who's married to a Dominican, and they go back and forth a lot. And I can like I have like had other people connect with her, because it's hard for me to answer that question. There are Dominicans here in New York and New Jersey, but not as many. It's like very much not as many as New York, but you always find them. So it's funny. It's like, we have Dominican friends here, and you'll like find them randomly, like they connect with each other somehow. So we have like 5 or 6 Dominican friends here. There's like a good amount kind of because of baseball, but it's not a lot. Tell your husband there's a store called Comunidad Latina in Mesa, and he can get Dominican products. Ooh, thank you. I went to, oh, that's nice. That's good to know. I went to Comida, or like Rancho Comida, something like that, and they had some products. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Am I getting a headache? No, I've been sick, so I'm like actually better, but I still sound like not great, so I'm sorry. I hate like coughing on here. It's gross. But I do have a headache all the time. I feel like when you're light skinned in DR, no matter where you come from, they take you as Dominican. When you're light skinned in DR, they always think you're Dominican. I'm light skinned, and they know I'm, sadly, as much as I tell myself that I could be Dominican, they don't know. They know. But you know what? Sometimes people are like, are you Venezuelan when I'm there? And I'm like, yeah. So I just hate when they're like, gringa, like right off the bat. I'm like, what gave it away? I can't. I love your sensitivity to people's background situations. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That really means a lot, because I really try to be cognizant of like various people's experiences. So I appreciate that. There are Dominicans in Russia and Arkansas, confirmed. Dominicans are everywhere. It's such a small country, and they're literally throughout the entire world. I'm like, dude, you guys spread out. It's actually impressive. But sometimes, because I'm in a group of people that did like K1 visas, and luckily Chris and he had his travel visa before we even met. Like he got that when he was like 14. So like he would he's been to New York, he's been to Arizona with me on vacation and stuff. We've been other states, Florida and stuff. So luckily he like saw New York and he saw Arizona, and he liked Arizona more. And I was like, good, because all my family left New York, so we're gonna move back here anyway. And I'm super grateful he liked it, because I can't do the snow anymore. But it gave him an opportunity to like see the States and experience it. I should put on makeup. But the point of that being, in some of the groups, they'll be like, I'm taking my Dominican fiance who's never been to the States before to Idaho or Iowa or Montana. And I'm like, oh no. Like, no. But luckily here, even though there's not a ton of Dominicans, there's a ton of Hispanic people. So they can all, like, we can speak Spanish to a lot of people. My friend's uncle. Oh, in Arkansas? You're in Arkansas. I've never been there. That's crazy. Being white. When I think of Arkansas, I think of the Duggars. I love your personality. Do a meet and greet. Stop. That's so nice. If I did a meet and greet, like, I think you'd be the only person that came. Like, I'm shy and I don't know. That would be great though. I'd love to meet everyone. If you haven't given a thumbs up yet, if you can take a second to like or subscribe to me if you're not subbed yet, or share my videos, or join my membership program, because I have a membership program and it is really, really cheap and it helps me. It like supports the channel so much because I love making content, but it does take a lot of time. Oh my gosh, Nathan, hi buddy. How are you? You're so funny. Oh my gosh. I was just talking about my job in Manhattan, as you know what that was. Do I like working out? Yeah, I do like working out, but I haven't been able to for like a week and a half because I've been sick. And hi, you're so funny. Oh my gosh. Message me on Instagram so we can catch up. I do love working out and I do really jobs in Manhattan. Yeah, literally. That's why I was like, I'm leaving the country. But good times. But message me. I love working out. The problem is, one, getting to the gym with Mateo is super hard because I don't go to a gym that has a daycare. I went to one like to test it out. Denver? Oh, you're close. I'm in Phoenix. That's so funny. My brother lives in Colorado Springs. That's so random. No, you have to message me. Yeah, message me. Okay, good. I can't wait to talk to you. That's so funny. Denver. Oh, I love Denver. That's so small world. Sorry guys. But yeah, it's hard to work out with a baby because like when I went to, yeah, I'm a mom now. You have to message me. Oh my gosh, I haven't talked to him in so long. He's cute. You have my Instagram, right? Rebecca Mills. Message me. It's hard to drop him off, and I took him to the gym one time, and he was like crying, screaming when I went back, and I was like to pick him up for the daycare, and I was like, I can't do that. Thank you. You have to message me. I want to catch up with you. And I don't know. So I need to find a better gym, one. Two, it's 110 degrees here. So I would normally go on a run or like work out outside, but it's so hot. And I really like going on walks with Mateo, but it's hard to do that. Like when it's so hot, it's dangerous for him. But I do workouts at home a lot. And when I'm not sick, I will go to the gym. Like my mom can watch him for a minute, or if Chris is working from home, I can leave him here for a little and go. Is he up? Babe? Is that your phone? That's not him. Okay. Anyway. Oh, he's watching videos of him. And yeah, I love to work out. And I'm on like a diet like recently, which is pretty intense. I feel like I'm hungry all the time. But I'm just like I've been on like such a plateau. I feel like really strong. I gain muscle fast, but it's hard for me to lose fat, and I gained weight when I was pregnant, obviously. It's taking so long to come off. I think I have a thyroid problem because my head always hurts. I'm always so tired. So I'm like, I need to go get my blood done again because I already have a thyroid issue. I feel like it's lower. So we're going to go get that settled. I need to stand up, I feel like. Ooh. But no, yeah, I love working out. It's like, I love lifting weights and stuff. Thyroid issues are no joke. I feel like it must have like plummeted, but they'll probably be like, no, you're just eating too much. Don't take Dominican out of El Monte to another rural area. I just feel like when they take like some of my friends legit who live in like Iowa or Montana, like literally, like, not Montana, what's the other? Minnesota and stuff. I'm like, first of all, it's freezing. Like, how do you guys live there? But they're happy. I mean, to each his own. I know, Nathan. It's like, it's fine. I love it. You have to message me because I have questions for you. Show my hair. Oh no, I just took it down. It's not cute. Actually, I was wearing a hat all day today because it's like, it's a mess. But this is like my natural hair. Some days it's curlier, some days it's not. I don't know. Some days it's wavier, but this is pretty much what it looks like. Thanks for saying that. Oh, you did? Okay. I'll message you when I'm off then. I lived in Arizona for a while. My hair stayed dry all the time. What do you use in your hair? I love it here more than in DR because like when I was there and in New York, like my hair, it's so humid that it would be like a mess all the time. Like I have to show you guys pictures of my hair in DR in certain instances because like when I went to school to teach, I didn't care what I looked like. So I would always like put it in a bun or whatever, but I would take it down and it'd be like this big. Like pretty much if I were to like brush my hair out now, because I don't brush my hair. Like you don't brush your hair if it's curly. Do you actually? No, you don't. I feel like you're lying. Stop. So funny. What I use though is Miss Jessie's curls. I really like that. It's actually called multicultural cream, but I like that. I kind of do like sulfate free and silicone free products, but I don't really like do my hair anymore. Like I have a diffuser. I like sometimes, like very rarely. I don't like dry it or anything. It kind of just will stay. Like this is how it dries. Some days it's like a lot curlier though. I don't know what it's doing today. And because it's so dry here, it's not like super frizzy or anything. So that's nice because in DR it definitely was. So I, like when I lived with Simone, I loved it because she would braid my hair all the time. And then she moved and I was like, who's gonna braid my hair? Because that just like keeps it way nicer when you're there. Which is cool. But diffusers, I can't, like, I'm so lazy. I'm not blow drying my hair to stay home ever. But when I do diffuse my hair, I have a whole video of like my hair routine because a lot of people were asking, and then I'm fully like 9 months pregnant in the video and I never posted it. And my hair when I actually do it is like super curly, but I don't, there's no one I'm trying to do my hair for like that here. So thankfully Chris is like, keep your hair curly because I literally never straighten my hair. I think I just put a couple pictures up of it straight and people were like, you look so different, and it was because my hair was straight. I feel like you don't actually use a diffuser. I feel like you're kidding. Denver is so nice though, the weather. I wish, because here it's like, it's literally like 100. What's the temperature? It is right now at 10:30 at night. It is. My watch is really slow. To be determined. It's 97 degrees outside right now. It's so stupid. Move here. I should. Colorado is awesome. I love it. But all my family's here, except my brother, who's in Colorado Springs. So there's that. Anyway, if you haven't liked yet, give a like. I guess I'm literally. Oh, hi, Emma. There's Emma. We were talking about you like an hour ago. So you missed it. But Emma and I are going to do another video. 71, I wish. I want to go on a walk. Emma and I are going to do another video about, well, I'm going to show the other like videos that she has of the tour of her town, but also like to answer your guys' questions about building in DR. Because I think like, I got so many questions about that and lots of messages and stuff. So we will answer those questions as for whatever she wants to answer. Did you answer about Dominicans in Northern Arizona? Oh, there's probably not a lot of Dominicans in Northern Arizona. There's like, I feel like not a lot of diversity in Northern Arizona. Maybe, but I don't know because I don't go up there that much, but it's nice. The food scene in Arizona, no, it's good. I feel like there's a lot of good restaurants here, honestly. Like, we have like every type of food and I think it's really good. I think we have a ton of good restaurants in Phoenix and Scottsdale because a lot of like chefs and stuff will move from New York out here. Lots of good Mexican food. Yeah, I feel like we have good food. Indian food is there's, you know what? We haven't been to too many good Indian places, but I just looked up a list and I found like 10 that are really, really well rated. So I want to try them because we did go to one the other day, but it was kind of like buffet style, but it was still really good. Because like chicken tikka masala is bomb. So we definitely, there's a couple like that are right near us that we still need to try. Indian food, yeah, Indian food's good. I feel like it's underrated. And then Asian food, I don't eat a ton of like Chinese food. I don't really like, but I do like Thai food a lot, and we have good Thai food here, and a lot of vegan food here. Have you ever thought about becoming a villain? No, I'm an angel. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. If I step on someone's foot by accident, I will like cry the rest of the day. So I would literally be like the worst if I just randomly decided to become a villain. So no, I haven't considered that, sadly. I like to pretend that I'm tough and I'm literally like so soft. I can't. Are there many Dominicans there? There's like a good amount. Yeah, I am an angel. There's a good amount, but it's nothing like New York. Like at all. I mean obviously, but like there's some, like we have a couple that's Dominican and then like they have family members out here, which is nice. And then there's some like baseball players that will like come to spring league out here, like spring, what's it called? I forgot. And they'll stay if they don't make the teams, but it's not a ton, but we do have some Dominican friends. Why did I do live right now? I don't know. I went live like 2 hours ago and I was only gonna stay on like 10 minutes. And then people were asking good questions. I haven't done a live in like 3 or 4 weeks. That's probably why I'm doing a live right now. But no one's given me a super chat tonight, so that's kind of sad. Usually that happens. But what if I know Joe? That would be cool. You should come visit Joe. No, you're not gonna give me one. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Super chat, that's like tips. Are there many Dominicans there? No, I answered that. Does Chris, do you know anyone with the last name Tapia or Minier? I don't know. Is that a Dominican name? In Santiago?
Tapia, I know a kid that died, and Minier, I know people.
Okay. Did you hear that? He says the first name, he knows someone that died with Tapia. Who? And then Minier, I'm saying that wrong. It's Minier. Minier.
Yeah.
Who do you know? Yeah, he does, he said. He knows people with that last name. Are they like our age? You are, this is very non-Dominican right now. You're so funny. I'm gonna get off in a couple minutes. Yes, he does know them. You should message me. Maybe we have the same friends like me. That's me. Maybe he knows them. He says he knows someone who died with that name. Who, Chris? Someone our age? Chris?
What?
With Tapia?
What?
Who died?
Someone my age.
That's sad. From school?
No, it was Lucas. Lucas school. He went to school with Lucas.
How'd he die?
Cancer.
Cancer? That's sad. Oh my gosh. Dang. What does Lucas's dad do?
He retired.
What?
He retired.
But what did he do?
He used to shit.
Yeah, I'll message you on Instagram. Thanks for coming. That was so funny. I'll definitely message you back. I was gonna ask Chris like what some of his other friends had to, because they went to like really, really expensive schools. Was his name Raphael? I think he was, because he's not telling me. He said he's retired. I'm like, from what though? Do you know Raphael Minier? I'm saying that last name so wrong. Huh?
Oh.
No. Who is that? I feel okay. Bye. I'll text you. Thanks for coming. I'm so awkward. I cannot. That's why I can't do lives. I can't. No, he doesn't know him. But it's funny because like there are some people that we've met in the States and like they'll know someone in common. And I'm like, how did we meet you? Like Santiago is just like it's such a big city, but it's so small too. You'll like go out and you see people you know everywhere. And then we'll be in Arizona, thousands of miles away. And then we'll meet someone who like, we like know in common. And we're like, wait, what? It's like that. What are the chances of that? I can't. Anyway, make sure you guys message me or comment below any questions that you want me to cover in next videos, whether it is like building a house in DR like we talked about, or any other type of house tours, or any topic that you guys want. I'd be happy to do and happy to cover. I need chapstick like more than anything right now, so I need to do that. If you do, or if you are interested in any type of way, I hate saying this stuff, in like being a membership thing, it's $2 a month. I think it's the first year, and the next year is like $5 a month, which is like less than a coffee. And that just helps me so much because like I said, like YouTube ads, like people think that like, oh, you're probably making so much money on YouTube. I wish. But not so much. So if that is something you're inclined to do, there are like rewards. You can see if you click on the link in my description on this video, you'll see like different tiers, like what you get at each level. So a lot of it's like consults and free question and answers. So I do a lot of that for free, but a lot of YouTubers, like DR YouTubers, I found out like when they do their consults, or when someone messages them asking a question, they make someone do a consult to even answer one question. And I'm like, oh no, like I could never do that. I'm so bad at asking people to do that stuff. But you know, on the other hand, it's like I like to help people for free. But if you ever want to like send a tip, I have like my PayPal and buy me a coffee thing linked. I don't know, this is awkward. Anyway, sharing and engaging is so helpful too, so I really appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. Oh, that's your boyfriend? No, I don't think we know him. You should message me. I mean, I feel like we talk, but like we can talk more if you have any questions. But that's so exciting. You should do it if you can, for sure. I'm jealous. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. This was like always, as usual, longer than I expected. But I love chatting with you guys, and you literally have so many good questions all the time. So it's just like easy to talk and chat because you guys ask really good questions. He probably went against the God's wishes. Who? Don't say that. Not me, not Chris. But yeah, I really appreciate all of the support and like engagement and comments and stuff. Like, you guys are awesome. And if there is any questions that you have that you didn't want to ask here and you want me to answer, then just message me on Instagram, Rebecca Mills with 3 S's, or shoot me an email. It's linked in my about section here, I think. I almost gave out my phone number. Okay. But yeah, I would love to help you out in any way that I can, and I'll do another live soon. I will schedule it, I promise. I'm so bad at that. But then it's like no one like knows that I'm going live and everyone has a life. So I will schedule one in advance, and it will be on like a topic specifically. And maybe Emma and I will do like a live for the house tour, or maybe I'll just ask her the questions. We'll see. But if like I said, if there's something that you want me to cover, make sure you let me know and I'll do a video about it. And maybe I'll even do my makeup next time. I don't know. Like, maybe. Probably not. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Friday night, so like, have a great Saturday and Sunday. It doesn't even feel like Friday, but I guess it is. And yeah, anything that I can help you guys with in the meantime, let me know. My DMs are always open, and I had so much fun hanging out with you guys tonight. So thank you so much for joining me on this impromptu live that I never plan ahead, but I appreciate it. So have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.